Welcome to the Junction. Here we explore issues that affect our lives on a daily basis. Today we are going to look at the proposed taxes and the already implemented taxes and how they are going to affect us as Kenyans. To do this, let's first go back to 1789 and get a story. There was a queen and her people were starving. She was told that her people cannot afford bread. What did she say? She uttered the famous phrase, let them eat cake. Now, the let them eat cake phrase shows how disconnected she was from her people. Because if they can't afford bread, they could not afford cake, which would require eggs, butter, and hence more expensive to bake. Now, this led to the French Revolution. Now, today, let's first start with going back to the campaign period and look at what the current president promised.
Niwaambie hii mafuta inaongezwa usiku na mchana. Mimi nataka niwaeleze ya kwamba these people don't understand the damage they are doing to the people and the economy of Kenya. Kwa hii taxes wanaongeza usiku na mchana.
From the sentiments that you've heard, you can hear the president complain about the several taxes that the regime at that point, which he was part of, was implementing that led to constant increase in prices of fuel and how it was destroying the country. Now, today, the shoe is in the other foot. And our president, President Ruto, is now implementing even more taxes. And these taxes are leading to life being very expensive for the ordinary mwananchi. Today, the shoe is in the other leg. With him as president, he has increased taxes, he has removed subsidies where there were previous subsidies. Okay, later reinstating them, but still, several policies that have been put forward have led to the increase in prices of the daily products that we consume. For example, immediately the government came into place, they removed the subsidy that had been put in place on fuel. After maandamano and such, that was reinstated. Today, they are proposing to increase taxes to landlords. What will happen? Rent is going to be very expensive, especially for residents of towns where people have to work from. If you are employed and living in the big towns, then you have to brace yourself for rent hikes. And another thing that the government is proposing is to increase the VAT from 16% currently in Kenya to align to East African rate, which is 18%. Taking the VAT from 16 to 18 is going to affect everything from manufacturing to everything that you put on your table. And this is going to make things very, very expensive for us. Another item that the government is proposing in its midterm financial strategy is a proposed taxation for services that are not directly linked to education. Now, what does this mean? Meaning that other than education itself, services such as transport of students to school, Students being taken for other activities that are extracurricular, like going for swimming and such, all those are going to be exposed to a tax rate and hence become more expensive. And that expense is going to be passed down to the taxation for car owners. Now, other than the insurance that you've been paying, this is other things you have to pay for before you go to the road. Now, attached to the insurance fee you'll be paying a tax rate every year for you to be able to drive on a Kenyan road. Now, this levy will be dependent on the engine size. So the bigger the car you buy, the more the levy that will be charged on you during the acquisition of insurance for that particular coming year. Another proposed tax is the introduction of a cost on agricultural produce. The 5% proposed taxation on agricultural produce is going to be counter beneficial because as much as it's going to generate revenue to the government, it's also going to make food more expensive to put on the table for the ordinary mwananchi. Now, finally, to alcohol and sugar sweetened non alcoholic beverages. There is going to be an increase in excise duty to decrease the consumption of these two categories of beverages. This is definitely going to lead to an increase in cost of alcohol and increase in cost of your favorite non-alcoholic drink, that is sugar sweetened. Now to good news. All this that we've gone through is just but proposals from the ministry through Treasury. Now, what this means is that since there's going to be public participation, you have room to yourselves, the bodies that you are part of, or through your representatives, give counter offers. Let us push our members of parliament so that during deliberations, they can represent our interests and not their interests. If we keep quiet, then we should not complain when all these come to be laws and then taxation is effected. After watching, leave your suggestions in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe so that we continue to engage together and continue to explore ways to address several issues that affect us.